I think we do a dress rehearsal guide just to close on that. I think we can schedule both. And what I found with dress rehearsals is the first time we'll get a sense of who starts and who kind of enters in. And the beauty of doing that and recording it is you might hop in, maybe like Joey hops in during my part, or I hop in during his part, or whatever. And I think we'll get that flow with the dress rehearsal, and then we'll do it next. I totally agree with you. We do one dress rehearsal. If we need two, we can do two.
Okay.
And then we feel really good with our final product. So I think it's a super good idea. And just for like a bit of a tip, what I typically do is for the slides I have before I create my own script. And so I have like my Google Doc that has 4 or 5 bullets for what I'm going to say. And then I'll rehearse it on my own. And then we come together. It feels really conversational. And so it's a little bit of your own practice, and then we all come together and you kind of feel this flow of conversation. So I could see it. We all work really well together. I think it'll show with the recording. So
Do you want to have our faces displayed throughout the whole thing on the right,
yeah,
for example, and then kind of like Hollywood squares, you're not seen only when you're speaking, but we're all visible through the whole presentation. And it is like we're sitting around a kitchen table having put this together, and now we're discussing our project. So it's less of that, hi, I'm Anchorman with my professional voice, and it's more like just like we're
yeah,
talking now. I think that has
totally.
a good
And
vibe.
you see like the little squares below, because we'll probably record on Zoom, I assume.
Yeah.
But we can change the format. There's a bunch of different ways to do that, and we can explore what works best. But yeah, I think that feels like a simple and conversational way to approach this in a way that also is, like Justin mentioned, it's really hard to edit this stuff together. So I think doing that will solve for, time and all those things.
Two quick just questions. So between Justin and Angela, I just want to document this to finalize the new template that we're going to add our content into. Is there a date I can put for when we hope that will be done?
Well, we should do that like today, because I want to start adding to the slides. Like if
So the slideshow is up on the drive already. It's I think there's a folder.
Let's see. Do you want to enable sharing?
oh, sorry,
Again,
yeah.
and then let's see if I can find it real quick. Okay, so
Yeah, if you just send the link, Justin, we can all hop in there.
Sure.
Because it'll take you like 2
I can
seconds.
share now just to show where it is on the, or yeah, Alex, if you
or
want to do it.
you can share if you got it easy. Otherwise, it's probably right in the Thrive All community. Guessing it's in here. And
Yeah, under slideshow themes. And then that one there. So both of them are the same. I just made a copy so that
oh, sweet. Look at this. Cool.
Yeah. So this is what I mean. Like there's already so
Ah,
many infographics and all kinds of stuff here that we can just
Pretty.
wow.
use. We can just copy our content, paste it into this, and then just rejig some things.
And then just a quick note for folks that haven't used this product before, up to the top, there's a little plus. If you want to go up there to the very far left, do you see that plus? Yeah, that's the template. If you hit the plus, the little arrow down the down, will you hit that arrow? Yeah. So you can select any of those slides. And so when you're creating your slides, you can go in there and yeah.
Cool. Yeah, I think gets us from 0 to 60 really quickly.
Love it. Okay.
Sweet.
So what I'll
So for
just
next
do,
week, everyone will have
Yep.
theirs in this. And then, like I said, I'm happy to tidy it or look at it, copy edit or whatever, to take
Well,
it home.
Angela, you seem to know the most about this, so I would suggest that you can be the stylist or editor, or post-production.
I'm sure
whatever you wanna
Justin
call it,
does too.
and
know.
work with Justin on it. But I like the look of this as a thing to start. One thing I'd like to know is there a simple way to have a soundtrack? I don't want it to be loud, but that would just be thematic through the whole thing. Can one do that? So that,
I would not recommend it.
no?
No, because it distracts from when you're speaking.
Okay.
Because if you have music going in the background, I would love to hear everyone else's thoughts, but it tends to distract.
Yeah, that's fair enough. What about
If
it?
we're
just the
recording it,
beginning?
if we were like splicing it together, I'd feel differently, but
What about at just the beginning? Can we have some kind of background sound just while the cover slide and that comes on?
Sure.
So the way that if we were going to do that, the way that I would approach it, or this is just a thought off the top of my head, is like we could record the entire slideshow presentation without any music, and then we can take that video, throw it in an editor, and then put some music on top of it. And then that way you can control the music much better rather
Yeah,
than, because I
yeah,
think
yeah,
like
yeah.
if you have music in the slideshow, then like it'll start and stop, and it'll be like from music to dead silent and all these kind of weird things.
Got it.
Yeah, so it's
Okay, so we do
possible.
the slideshow, and then when we turn that into a video,
Yeah,
which, because what is that I ought to know this because I do them every week, but the PowerPoint, when they record it, it becomes what is it, an MP4 file or something? An MPEG, or anyway, it becomes a video file, doesn't it?
yeah.
Like this thing's being recorded right now. So as long as you can add music to that, I don't know how to do that myself, but
Yeah, that's something that I could play with this week. Like even just using one of these recordings and just throw some music on top of it and
yeah,
see.
if you want to play with it, I will find what I think is a good kind of nice just background thing. I'm actually thinking of something that would have a bit of that indigenous vibe to it, drumming and just again, I want the viewer, whoever sees this, to feel like, wow, now I'm in that environment. Did you guys, well, you must have watched because it was part of the class, the video that was made for or was it part of the class? Maybe it wasn't. It's that really cool place in Costa Rica. Was that part of our class? And it was like an ad for it. Anyway, I'll send that. I'll share that with you. It was quite interesting to see what they've done.
Was it like the really professional one?
Yeah, it was very professional. And I'm not saying we do that, but it just shows you kind of the power of the branding and the music. It really brought it to life. Gave it a good energy.
Are we going to have I'm presuming somewhere towards the beginning, an introduction, a team introduction, and with any individual bio stuff on each of us?
Well, I was working on a slide to that effect, and I just had our names and our area of responsibility. So that can be one slide. Um, and then let's discuss now how we want to handle it. Maybe the narrator when we start drilling into the first area says, well, now I'll turn it over to you, Joey, to talk about water. And then you say, hi, my name's Joey Petit. I live in, Finger Lakes District of New York, and it was my job to figure out the water issues for this community. And then you go right into the data so that we don't eat up a lot of time having a separate slide introducing each person. What do you think, guys?
I think I like that. Yeah.
Yeah, it sounds good. And I was putting just, so I'm looking through the final design requirements of everything that's required and transferring them over to this new list. Um, so I think, if we want to talk about these 8 things, which are all required, that's 2.5 minutes per topic to get to 20 minutes. So
Wow,
just
that's just gonna fly by.
again, speak to like we got to be precise.
Yep.
So if we think it's, we could always fluctuate. One might be 2 minutes, one might be 3, but in general, I think if we
I would say
focus on, I mean,
aim to
2.5 minutes, like, yeah.
And I think don't think, well, it's 2.5 minutes for each person to get to 20 minutes. We do need the time to have that intro. So maybe everyone should be thinking about 1.5 minutes for their area.
Well, I did have 2.5 minutes for the intro,
Okay.
or we can go longer. But yeah, so these are 8 sections we need. So yeah, and then 2.5 would be 2.5 for everything. But if intros go 4, then someone might need 2 minutes for theirs. So if you could just target like 2 to 3 minutes of talking content per topic, then I think that might work out.
I'll
Yeah.
target 2, give us some buffer.
What's
Yeah,
that?
So
I'll
so
target
let's
2
leave it
minutes
at
or less.
nobody goes more than 2.5 minutes. If we find ourselves individually, then we have to edit ourselves before we submit it into the group. And then if someone gets under 2 minutes and there's more time available for somebody else, that'll be great.
I would even say for your individual thing, keep it to 2 minutes because some of the stuff is overlap with other groups, like economics and describing the property and the geography. Like that is going to take some time because we need to situate the viewer, be it the teachers or anyone else. They need to hear about, like, we have to have like a slide that shows Dee Dee and she was the founder and she's the client, and that might only take a few seconds, but we need to have space for that.
I thought we were supposed to be producing and presenting this as if we were presenting this to Dee Dee, not as an infomercial about Dee Dee. Maybe I misunderstood from the beginning what they were asking of us. I thought we were supposed to treat this that Dee Dee is our client and we are producing this proposal for her to review.
Let me think about that for a second. I think this would be more, yeah, I mean, you are right. I think it's more like this would be for her and the whole, like she has 8 directors that make decisions. So imagine that we're presenting this to their whole board.
I'm gonna
You would,
push
but
that
you would still include in there who the client is. You don't, just because you're presenting to the client doesn't mean you don't mention who the client is.
but
So
the-
just going,
the client is the Thrive All community that we're mentioning at the very beginning. Whatever. I'm okay
Yeah.
however it goes. That's time that
right.
gets detracted away from, the information that we're all going to be presenting is my only point to it.
But
So
think about it. You've got Stephen and Penny. They don't know who the hell these people are. Like
Well, if we
we've got
They're
to
not interested in that though. It's not an infomercial trying to sell them on Thrive All. We're supposed to be doing a presentation for the
if we
Thrive
follow
All
the
folks.
syllabus, so this is from the syllabus. It says each final design project presentation needs to include the following. So I'm transferring all these items over to this agenda slide so that we can and I'll document everything that it says is required. So the only thing it mentions in this realm is it does say client interview needs, wants, and capacity. So maybe if we just focus on like that's how we summarize it, of just like what is the needs, wants, and capacity of the client, and then because that is specifically mentioned as something we need.
Yeah, and I the client, Dee Dee Berg, who blah blah blah, like
Yeah, I don't see any problem with having
Yeah,
just a snapshot, whether it's a picture of Dee Dee or whatever. I don't see any problem with that as long as it is like efficient as far as time is concerned.
if you look at those examples they gave us to look, remember the 3 films at the very beginning?
Mhm.
They all really did a great job letting you know what the situation was, what was the unique setup and the people involved. Like I walked away from those with a good sense of what the project was. Anyway, let's see how I'll play with it and we'll see how.
Yes, for
how
sure
it
we want to
plays
do
out.
that. What's the reason behind the client, having acquired this 200 acres of land, and what's the intention?
Yeah.
I totally agree with you there. We
Yeah.
need to make that very clear.
Okay.
Do we want to, with 3 minutes, pick a time? We're gonna need to meet at least twice next week, if not twice this week. So do we want to at least pick a time next week where we know we can meet after our Monday meeting to actually start working on filming it and whatnot?
Yeah, let's
Let's do it.
have that conversation. 'Cause
A quick note, I'm so sorry. I've got a 9 o'clock call. So if you want to just any times that work, let me know and I can find it on.
Is there a time that is especially good for you, Angela?
Well, I'm at Pacific Coast, so like if you do it in the morning, it's better for me. During the day, it gets pretty busy and it's really not ideal. So anything in the morning, which ends up being your afternoon, is great, or at night. But that said, these 2 weeks are important, so I'm happy to find a time. Like if you
Okay.
just find a couple buckets, I'm sure I can find something.
Is everybody good with mornings? Mornings are usually best for me too.
Yes, same here.
And I can do earlier too.
Yeah, early is good.
The only days that I have a 7 a.m. call on Wednesdays, so I can't do Wednesdays with a client.
All right.
So
Yeah.
that's a 10-year
Okay,
time.
we'll come up with a time for you. Okay, so you can go to your next meeting whenever you have to, Angela. We'll come up.
Cool. And then I'll just thank you, Justin, for sending that. And I saw you sent the link around. So then we'll add everything into the new deck and then have everything ready. And then, you know, as we need to connect separately with anything, we can do so on WhatsApp.
Sounds good.
Cool. Thank you, everyone. Have a wonderful day.
Well,
You
Thanks,
too,
Angela.
Angela.
Bye.
yeah.
How about Thursday morning and Saturday morning? Those are both.
I was
good.
thinking Thursday morning works for me. Yeah.
This
Saturday
coming
is fine.
Saturday,
Yeah, just in the
That-
morning.
that's fine for me, just to give you all a bit of a heads up, not this week that we're beginning, but next week. I'm going to be traveling out to LA. Let's see. So I'll be not available Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, and then I'll be getting back in town just in time for Tuesday.
That's
Which dates are those?
You gotta ask me. Hold on, let me look real quick at I think it's where's my calendar? So I am traveling on Thursday, the 27th through Monday, the May 1st. But I can during the day. I'm gonna be out in LA, so I can do some morning meetings. I'm just not gonna be here at home, but I will have my laptop with me, so.
yeah, because those are the dates I imagine we'll be recording the final
Yeah.
Zoom, right? It's going to
This
be
is
in
a
there.
trip that was set up several months ago, so.
No, I have no problem with it, but as long as we know that you're available, say in the mornings on
Yes,
Thursday and a Saturday.
I'm going out to Los Angeles to celebrate Willie Nelson's 90th birthday party.
Nice.
So at the Hollywood Bowl. So.
Dude, no shit.
Crazy.
Nice. Okay, so we either need to have our presentation recorded by the 27th when you leave, or we need to have you join when you're gone.
Yeah, which
Um,
again I can do. I'm just, you
Okay.
know, got a bit of a, although I don't think we're talking, let's see. Well, whatever.
Well,
When I get, we'll see as it goes. We
you'll
can
be on the same time zone as Angela, first of all, so that's
Right.
that. But why don't we just pencil in Thursday and Saturday, the 20th, the 22nd, the 27th, the 29th, Thursday and at, I don't know, whatever you think is reasonable, like maybe we'll go a little earlier, like 10 o'clock. Or is that,
and even next Tuesday, our class is not till 7:00 p.m. So we could even perhaps do a Tuesday meeting as well as the Monday
yeah.
week.
All right, I'll send an email around when I send the recording of this meeting, I'll send a suggested calendar of our meetings. And then we'll all plug in and just let us know if you can't make one of those. But the closer we get to the deadline, the more crucial it is that we all be on the meeting because we'll be doing our dress rehearsal and we'll be doing our recording. And hey, if we can get this done earlier, great. But
Yep.
that means we got to do more work this week, which is fine with me. But
I'd
Yeah.
rather do that, yeah.
Yeah, me too.
As would I.
Okay.
I'd
Do we
rather-
want to meet again this week.
So this
Um,
Thursday at, let's say, 10 o'clock Eastern Standard Time.
What
That's
day?
Thursday.
Uh,
This
10,
Thursday or next Thursday?
I will be available for an hour. I'm pretty sure I'm going to be taking the herbalism course that's upcoming, and I believe that
Great.
starts this Thursday at 11 a.m. But just to let you know.
Okay, so we'll have our meeting at 10, and then you can go right into your meeting at 11.
Sure. Works for me.
So Thursday, the 20th, from 10 to 11.
Yeah.
Well, that said, my only question is, I know I will be able to, but is everybody comfortable in having their information into whatever and available so that Thursday can be a productive meeting? Or would we just be in a place much like we are today where, okay, yeah, I'm making progress, but I'm not quite there yet?
I can have I think I can have my slides in by then. Maybe they
And
still need a little bit of work, but I can have my first draft by then for sure.
I think my
But-
slides will be close to finalized by then. Yeah, I don't think this Thursday will be like, let's do a dress rehearsal, but maybe by next
No,
week.
yeah,
Yeah.
no, not that. I wouldn't think so at all either, Justin.
Yeah.
okay. And was that 10 a.m. Eastern where we were talking about on this
Yeah.
Thursday?
Yeah,
Perfect. Okay.
because
And then
that's viable for everybody.
it's okay. And then next Monday we'll meet at 11 a.m. Eastern,
Yeah.
like we normally do.
And then there's
Um,
also the Saturday, the 22nd.
and then
10
which
a.m.
is this Saturday.
Yes.
Okay. I think I can move my conflict. I'll double check that. 10 a.m. Eastern. And
Yeah.
then we'll want to do at least one more before Joy leaves on the 27th, I think.
Yeah, so we
Next
have our
week.
Monday meeting. And then at that Monday meeting, we can,
I was to say
Where
we
we're
would,
at.
yeah, that Tuesday, the 25th class is tentatively is scheduled for 7 p.m. Eastern time.
right.
So we would be we potentially have during the day available to us.
Okay, I'm
Got it.
going to send an email around. Like I said, when I send the recording of this Zoom call, I'll send these dates. Everyone can write them down and let us know if you have any problem with them. But I think
Okay.
we've got to make this our priority.
I typed him up in an email, so I'll just hit
Yep.
send to guy.
Okay,
So,
thank you.
Sweet.
Okay, and then by this Thursday, we'll shoot to have as much as we can in there by possible to have a nice productive chat.
Yeah, okay, I feel good about this now.
And then am I still sharing my screen?
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay, so I went through this sheet, which is directly from our syllabus, saying all the things that are required to have in the final presentation. And I put them in here. So some of these do not need to be 3 minutes. Like for example, but anyway, these are all the things we need to have in our final presentation.
Okay.
So just
It's looking pretty good already.
For sure. I was just thinking that myself, Justin. Look at that professional presentation.
yeah, no, it makes a big difference having the background.
I agree.
Okay, cool. And then
Now, Justin, I think we need to decide whether you're going to come up for a visit or not. Like, I'm okay if you don't want to, but if we're going to go up and visit that property again, we're going to, we need to do it soon.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm kind of thinking like, how worth it is it at this point? Because we're pretty close to the end, and
I can always just bop up there one day with my camera and just walk around and
I would think what you would look for, Guy, if you did that was any like, oh wow, we didn't realize that this was here, and that's gonna totally change things around for us. So other
Yeah.
than some oh wow moments like that, I'm not sure that at this point in the game
And as an aside, I mean, in a way, this is an imaginative project. It's not like we're actually hired by Didi and we're gonna get in trouble if it's not exactly how it is in the real world. We're doing our best,
Right.
but there's not gonna be, it's not like Penny and Steven are gonna be, oh no, that beaver pond is a lot smaller than that. Like,
Yeah, I
Right.
feel like
Yeah.
it's gonna be very relaxed as far as the criticism. Like, as long as we are confident in what we're bringing to the table, then I think we'll be like, all right, looks good, you know?
Yeah, I
Yeah.
think they want to see that we addressed all the principles of permaculture and that we're at least somewhat reasonable. Like, yeah, we plan on spending 98 cents a year to feed each individual person. They might laugh at our economics, but as
Right.
long as we're into the ballpark with things, I think they're going to be fine with it.
So
Yeah.
let me just restate then. By Thursday, we're each going to have a good first draft of our individual slide decks.
Excuse me, sorry.
I will shorten the intro. I'll tighten it up so it's only in the first couple of minutes we cover a lot of check a lot of the boxes we have to for describing the property and what the value proposition of this whole project is. What is the problem that it solves and what is it about? We'll have some visual and verbal genuflections to the history and the culture, but it'll all be from a positive point of view. I'll take out the overt politics. And our goal is to do a 20-minute PowerPoint presentation where through the whole presentation, each of us will be visible and we'll each speak when it's our turn, but it'll have a bit of a fireside chat quality because rather than it being each person doing their canned presentation, it'll be possible to have natural segues like, okay, I've finished, that's it for dwellings. Now over to Alex for energy or whatever or food or whatever it is.
Mhm.
And that I think will be a lot more forgiving. I'll just use an analogy. I used to play classical guitar, and you can spend 20 years studying classical guitar just to show how much you suck, because if you make one mistake, it's very unforgiving. But when I switched to blues and jazz, it's a lot more forgiving because you make, what is it the guy said? You make the wrong note good or something.
Right.
So if we sort of are having this conversational tone in the presentation, then it won't seem like, oh shit, he fucked up his line and he had to say that line again, and oh, they should have redone the thing, blah, 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 right?
Right. Yeah. Yeah. It'll go a lot smoother that way.
Yeah, I like this. And then we'll record it. If we have to do it a couple of times, we will. We'll end up then having a video file to which we can then add music as an intro or something and an outro if we want. So excellent. All right. Anything
Awesome.
else, guys, or do you think we've got it covered? And by the way, as I always say, if we're all on a WhatsApp, so any questions come up in the next few days, just jump on WhatsApp. I'm happy to hear from anybody. I'll probably
Perfect.
have some. If I develop anything and start going down a rabbit hole, I'll share it on WhatsApp and get your feedback before I go too far.
Nice.
I do like the
Awesome.
look
Well,
of the slides. That brings it together.
yeah, and I typed up an email I'll send that summarizes the group meeting times, our goal to have draft content finalized by Thursday. The link to the new group presentation is in this email, as well as the old one if you want to move your content over. And on this slide titled agenda, we have all of the content that's required for the slides, as well as the name of the person creating the content.
Okay, excellent.
Nice.
You just send that out to the group, Alex, and I'll just send the recording link out later tonight. or later
It-
today, actually. I should be able to get that done before I do anything else.
Crunch time. Cool.
Great, guys.
Well,
That was
good
a great
meeting.
meeting.
Yeah, it was.
I'm not
Hang in
feeling
there.
so freaked out.
Yeah, it feels a little lighter now. It feels like things are coming together.
All right. We
Yeah.
got class in an hour and 45 minutes.
Wait, that's tomorrow.
Jeez.
Today's Monday.
That's tomorrow.
God, you scared me, Joey.
I'm already ahead of it. I'm already running a day ahead. Okay, that's good then. That makes
You just got
my
24 hours back.
I work much better under pressure and deadlines like that. So just let me think today is Tuesday.
All right. Okay, guys.
Have a great day, everybody.
All right.
Bye,
Yeah.
guys.
Be